Now
we're going to take two on that one. Had some user error on my part.
Hyperdrive malfunction there.
No, Marco. No problem.
Marco cursed us. There you go.
We're live now. Yeah.
We're only 30 seconds in. Marco's already trying to shut us down remotely.
Probably. Yeah. Marco's like, well, you're late. You're late. We're always late. So
that's all right.
Had to ruin keep tradition going. Yeah, no Marco tonight. What we got going is a good show for us. We got a lot of D23 to talk about tonight. Lots of trailers. Dom's going to be happy and not happy at the same time.
Yeah, I got to talk about some stuff.
Yep. We got some comics to cover, the greatest comics in the universe for Star Wars. JJ is looking forward to that one. And yeah, he's been so bad lately. And we got a new segment, Star Wars canceled projects. As I was saying, there's thousands of these things, but JJ's going to be going through a list of his top 20 over the course of the next couple months or so. So
we get awesome comics, quote unquote, awesome comics, followed by stuff that they should have given us but never did.
Yeah, they.
Well, you know what? I'm telling you, some of those rumors, some of those projects that were canceled should have been made.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
Definitely gave Disney more, Lucasfilm more upwards. But
yeah,
it's Disney.
It is. All right, let's say hi to the chat real quick. We got Ruben here. Star Wars Sunday with the Dark Side crew. You're going to get all the D23 dirts, and you're definitely going to hear, Dom go crazy on rumors and everything else.
Listen, let me tell you this. I'm going to say it again. No mention of the Ray movie.
Tommy Longbox. And the cat's away, the mice will play. Have a good shows. Cheers. Yeah. We will be. GT Comics. Hi, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Mr. Appleman, yes, there is a lot of good D23 stuff for us to cover tonight. They gave Star Wars fans pretty much what we expected, but I think we're happy with what we saw. Chef, good evening, everyone. Let's talk about the Skeleton Crew trailer. I know somebody is really excited about that one. I'm kind of meh.
Listen, growing up, I love pirates, cowboys, and all that stuff. And that's one of the reasons why I love Star Wars. I love it because of the pirates, the bounty hunters. That's what I love Star Wars about. So we're getting pirates, we're getting
aliens.
Maybe Hondo. Oh, there's one thing I don't like about the Skeleton Crew. That Max Rebo damn thing, talking like a human. I hate that. I want fucking subtitles.
It's a kid show, though.
I want subtitles. There should be something. It's a kid show, but it's aliens. But we'll get to that anyway. So.
All right. How you doing, Davian? Good to see you. Good to see you, Dusty. Yep, and it is going to be something like Goonies meets Star Wars.
Yes, pretty much felt like Goonies. Yes.
Yeah, it did. And
I like maybe a little Stranger Things.
Not as much
Stranger Things, Goonies, and the Caravan of Courage type of like the kid show. What's the other one?
Why you got to bring up like the worst thing in Star Wars, though?
I know, but I actually like that because it was in the 80s. I was a kid, man.
I don't know what you're going to do tonight, BK, with no Marco. I don't know how you're going to make it. Like, your night is ruined already without Marco.
It's your night, BK. You can say whatever you want in the chat. Go right ahead. Let's do it.
Let's not say whatever you need to say. There's limits. There are limits to these things.
Okay.
No, just not appearing in Skeleton Crew, but we're going to get to a place where Nubs is appearing a little bit later.
I just sent you something. I sent you a Nubs. $3.
All right. And on that note, let's get into the news. We're going to do all the non-D23 stuff. There's not that much to cover for non-D23 before we get into the D23 goodness. Right off the bat, though, Sean Levy was out this week, provided an update on his movie and confirmed it will be a standalone project. He's not interested in anything more than a one part. It will also be his next project after Stranger Things. He also gave some word salad. Now it's going to be about force and power and people. What does that mean? What does that mean?
People in it? Wow. People in a movie. Imagine that.
That's amazing when you see people in movies. I don't know, man. Yeah. It could be AI. You never know.
So that part of it, I was like, that's not helpful at all.
Well, look, we're not going to find out more about. We'll probably find out more about this at Star Wars Celebration when you'll get more of the platform where it's more just Star Wars. But
yeah, I would assume they got. We're gonna talk about it next. Coming up here, they got a lot of Star Wars stuff coming down the.
But they usually drop Star Wars stuff even before Celebration, even before D23. So we might get it. So we might get some information.
Yeah, we don't need it though. We don't need it before that.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We don't need it.
It's only, 8 months away from Celebration, which is in the grand scheme of things, it's not very much time.
A show, and there's another movie that's coming out before this one, so there's a whole lot of other stuff, like ground to cover. So
yeah, we'll get a big comics panel at NYCC. You have to cover that for us, Dom, and then we'll see what else is coming down. So yeah, we got plenty. So I'm not worried about that. But here is the news that I was surprised about this week. Disney's investor update. They do this every quarter. They gave a little timeline about what's coming and when ahead of D23. And they reaffirmed that we are getting 3 Star Wars films in a 2-year period.
Yeah.
So most likely you'll probably get 1 Star Wars film like in May, which they're talking about. But I'm very surprised. What Star Wars film is going to land on the 50th anniversary of Star Wars? That's the thing. They better not put the Rey movie on that day. That should be something.
Well, dude, they're going to celebrate the whole year. It's the 50th
They
anniversary of Star Wars.
They will, but you want nostalgia. You want Luke, Han, and Leia. That's
We've already got like a full year of the 25th anniversary of just one movie. So
I think if we're getting 3, and I don't think there's a chance we're getting 3 movies in 18 months, because one's coming out in May, then you got December and another one. There's no way that's happening because we haven't got any in so long, and they've never given us 2 in a year.
And that's kind of what they blamed for the Solo movie not being a success, was the fact that they kind of jammed everything into such a small period.
What are the 3 movies?
So I think the 3 movies, if they're right, will be. I know you're not going to be happy with one of them, Dom. One of them is going to be the Rey movie. Of course, we got Mando and Grogu. That's coming out May.
That's
I think
coming
the
out
second
first.
one will be Rey, and that will come out in December, the December one. And the third movie will be the Levy. I think Levy has jumped in the 3rd spot.
Yeah, because I know Dave Filoni's movies are coming out until like another 2 years or whatever. If it's ever coming out.
The show, I don't think the show's coming out before 2026.
Let me ask you a question.
Season 2.
Do you think the Grogu and Mandalorian movie is the first part of a trilogy that they're going to do?
If it goes well, it'll be more. Yeah, they'll do more.
I don't think so. I mean, if they're going to continue the TV show and do a movie, I mean, they were trying to like kind of build this Mandoverse, but like, I don't know, it's not Marvel verse. Like, they don't have quite as much to take from to do that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I've been wondering all week. What if they're done for the most part with live action Star Wars TV and they're just going all in on movies?
They actually, funny you say that. You know, there was something that I read, on in a magazine. They were talking about the failure of Disney Plus, that the TV shows, they weren't, they were good, but it wasn't the complete like oh my God, type of thing that they put the effort in it and it didn't really take off the way it should have. That maybe the Star Wars has always been movies. We all know that. Animation, yes, you could put animation. I think Star Wars animation does much better than live action. If you really, if you do a good animated show,
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of people that are going to watch an animated show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not going to. Most adults are not going to sit down and watch an animated show. But I think when it comes to, they've already started that with Marvel, right? I mean, you've already seen that they're pulling back on the number of shows and stuff that they're doing because they can get stuff back into the theater, and they've proven that they can get those $1 billion movies again.
Right.
So I think they're going to try to do that more and more as you go forward. Whether or not they'll end all like Star Wars shows, I doubt that, because they gotta have content on Disney Plus.
You see, what's going to happen is this is the problem with Disney. Yes, they got the $1 million coming back. They had the Inside Out made over $1 million. The Deadpool Wolverine made over $1 million now. Now, yeah, they're riding a little high now. But what's going to happen when Grogu and Mandalorian come out? If it does make $1 million, just say if it makes $1 million, it makes $1 billion. What's going to happen when the Rey movie comes out and it doesn't do those numbers?
Well, I see you're already like,
we don't know what it's going to do.
You don't know what it's going to do.
It might be really great. We don't know. I know you don't think it is.
Yeah.
But
I doubt it. But
here's the problem. Here's the problem with Star Wars, and I'm going to guess this is true. I don't know for sure. I think creating a Star Wars TV show costs more than creating most TV shows.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Because of all the special effects, because all they got to do. So if they're going to put that much money into a TV show, it's not working. Why don't they? And so maybe they're just saying, we're just going all in the movies front for Star Wars because it makes more sense for us financially to do that. And then maybe they bring it on a Disney Plus, I don't know, a month before it releases on DVD or something like that, just to get people to go that way or something. I don't know.
Well, look, think about this. You got to think about this. Mandalorian, when it dropped on, it was the first show to drop on Disney Plus. It was a hit. It brought people back into the fold. This and that. So it was the first time they used the what's the name of the
volume?
The volume. They used the volume, and it was a success. Without the little hiccups, they had hiccups. You could tell when you watch the show. When you have shows like House of Dragons and these shows that have spectacular things in it and put money in, you would think that Disney has lots of money. They can make these shows better than what they are, but they choose not to. And that's the problem. If they did that, they would have a lot more feedback, more positive feedback, and better. Look, they need better writers, sir. Some of the stuff that they did, it's lame. Look, Ahsoka, I like Ahsoka, but it did tail off at the end. The finale wasn't as good as it should have been. They need something that's going to really pump the.
Need better writers than the vice president of the company.
I get that. Now, for every House of Dragon, though, there are more misses than hits.
Yeah. So
I mean, even like Lord of the Rings, how much money they put in Lord of the Rings on Amazon? That didn't make any money for Amazon. I'll tell you that much.
I don't think so. They don't want Disney Plus to be a failure. If they just go to movies and start throwing Marvel and Disney movies on there, that will not be a success for them. The thing that's driven Netflix to what it is content. Massive amounts of content.
Exactly. Different types of content.
Yeah. That is what Disney has to get. And it's going to be tough because I think at some point you'll probably see further down the road like an integration of Hulu and Disney into a thing.
Yep.
More and that type of thing. But as far as if they want to get ahead of Netflix or get equal to Netflix or even come close, they need content. So they're not going to cut out Star Wars entirely. They're not going to cut out Marvel entirely. Will they scale it back compared to what they were doing 2-3 years ago? Yeah, probably. But I don't think they'll cut it out entirely.
I don't know.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think if they took chances, right? If Lucasfilm took more chances, did standalone shows that don't connect to the overall big picture, that different ideas, just throwing things out there? Like I know the Acolyte is 200 years or 100 years before the main Star Wars thing, but take more chances with stuff that will attract people, but you don't have to go crazy that you have to watch the whole Star Wars universe to watch it. Like characters that that just like regular, like have people just write something, make a story, like these standalone things that they can do.
Damien has a point here. Speaking of standalone stuff, Tom, is Netflix has Netflix original movies that they kind of put in theaters. And for me, I thought the model originally for the Mandalorian Grogu movie was going to be something like that, where it was going to be like essentially like a Disney Plus original film, where it's maybe in the theaters for a shorter amount of time than normal, like let's say 3 or 4 weeks,
right?
And then it goes to Disney Plus as like an exclusive thing. I think they'll have success at something like that if they do it. I think if they try to do like Mandalorian Grogu as like in the theaters for 2.5 months full, like a normal film, try to get $1 billion out of it, I don't know that they'll reach that goal with stuff like that. But
that's the thing. It's not like they have to have the big scale stuff again. For that, look, all kidding aside, yes, Mando did a great job on Disney Plus, but bringing Mando to the big screen, you need nostalgia. You need to put people want to see Luke, Han, and Leia. I know I keep being a dead horse. They want to see that. You put that in the show. That will bring more people in.
Well, the reason they can put it out for a shorter length of time and kind of throw it up as like a Disney Plus original type of thing, it's cheap, right? I mean, essentially, effects are obviously expensive, but they shoot it in the volume like they do the TV show. Your actor, you're paying Pedro Pascal, but you're probably paying him less of a wage than like, when he's starring in, a full-length movie with his face and everything there. So I mean, you're probably paying him less. You don't need a huge supporting cast. You don't need like, Liam Neeson playing like, Qui-Gon Jinn come back from the dead or something. So it's cheaper to do that, and they can put that out. So they don't need Mandalorian and Grogu to be $1 billion movie. But I think if they try to stretch it out and keep it in the theater forever and try to wait for it to make $1 billion worldwide or something like that, I'm not sure they'll get to that point.
I think they will. I think Grogu's that big of a hit. I think they will. But
we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be interested to see. We don't know of TV shows right now that are coming out after Ahsoka season 2. So I will be really interested.
I'm surprised they didn't even talk about anything about Ahsoka season 2.
What the future of Star Wars is, and the fact that they're going to do 3 movies in 18 months, supposedly, which I still don't think will ever happen, because they can't get one movie out.
One of those is probably getting pushed.
Yeah, but that I'm just skeptical on that. But we'll see what they're
telling you. Something big's got to come out for the 50th anniversary. That's the thing. 2027, something big has to be pushed.
We'll see. All right, we got Hondo. Jerome, where are you? Hondo is coming. I know JJ's not happy about this, but I'm really happy about this. I don't mind it. Hondo is coming to Star Wars Outlaws in the DLC second update, which is coming out next spring. It will be a story.
That's what I'm upset about. It's not that Hondo's in it. Just
a veteran pirate looking to settle old scores with the ruthless gang of pirates. His old from Clone Wars. I don't mind DLC content. I actually like DLC content. JJ must not like DLC content.
So it's back to old Ubisoft tactics of like making you pay $70 for a game and then teasing you with the good content of like characters like Jabba and Hondo, only to be in the DLC that you have to pay more money for. And by the end of it, you paid $120 for what should have been a $70 game. The $70 is not enough for them.
I disagree. See, I think games cost too little. When we were kids, they cost $50.
No, actually, they cost more than that in some cases. But yeah.
Yeah, and with inflation, that would be $120.
But when
don't worry about it. Now,
when you were a kid on the PlayStation, for instance, you'd get like a role-playing game that would have like 100 hours of content spread across 4 discs. Now you get like 16 hours.
It's about the same with all the DLC. It's about $120. It's the same.
Well, listen,
I think gamers are spoiled with how cheap their games cost, and it is ruining the industry. I think the game should cost $120, and you should get it in perpetuity. But that's how much I think the game should cost. The baseline game should be $120. But gamers don't want to pay inflation, and it's really hurting the systems, and it's hurting the games. So I have no problem with it, because I just say the game should cost $120.
So don't worry about it. You don't have to wait to 2025 to see Hondo. He's going to be in Skeleton Crew. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
He's not going to be in Not confirmed.
Anyway, no, I'm all in for Hondo. I don't care about the Lando pack, but I'm interested in the Hondo pack. So that's coming out next spring. We also got Jazzwares unveiled a new Darth Vader costume this week. $1,000. Dom, are you going to be Darth Vader for Halloween?
Nope, Boba Fett.
Would you pay $1,000 for this costume? It looks good.
It actually does look good. And I seen the little the mini preview to show, like the commercial that they showed, but it looks good.
I like how they make sure to give you the cod piece there.
Yeah,
Ruben is definitely buying this right now. I just spent $1,000 of Ruben's money in this show. Sorry, Ruben. I know you're buying it, but you're probably the only one from the show that's
so for $1,000. Does it at least have like working electronics or something, or is it?
I don't think so.
You got the breather. It makes the
$1,000
sound.
is pricey.
It does make the sound of the breathing
Makes the
sound, but it's
sound,
not like
At least
Listen, you
it's a
buy the
little
costume. You buy the costume. You get a mannequin, and you put on the mannequin. You have a life-size Darth Vader. He has a Vader costume.
fair.
Not the 1970 Halloween costumes with the friggin' plastic mask and the rubber band.
Why-
Not that
why
one.
am I not
but you
surprised
don't have
by
this one, Ruben. You don't have
I'm not
this
surprised
one.
by this
Exactly.
revelation at all.
You don't have that one, Ruben.
And you can't have too many. So I am predicting that Ruben will be buying this one for Christmas. And next, the last one was D23. We'll be reviewing this. I'll probably be the only one that actually reads this thing because Marco throws his fit about mangas and how it's not comics, not real, whatever. But Star Wars Edge of Balance Volume 3 is releasing on Tuesday. It will be featuring Aslan Rel as a main character, going back there with other people that we like. I'll be interested to see if the Hatch makes it back. Volume 2 is probably my favorite part of High Republic Phase 2. So
2
that
parts.
one is
Phase
excellent.
3.
I'm hoping that Volume 3 is at that level or higher. I don't care about Archive. I don't really care about Lily, but I love Aslan Rel. So it'll be interesting to see how Aslan goes against Marchion.
Thinking of Marco and Manga, were you in I don't know if you're in the one chat that he was with. He kept referring to an anime as a Japanese cartoon. I'm like, you just call it an anime. Like,
yeah.
Anime.
So anyway, I'll probably be doing a book report on this one next week, just to spite Marco. All right, now we get into the D23, the small D23 news for you Disney fans that like to go to Disneyland or Disney World. In conjunction with the movie, I don't know if anybody's done the smuggling run, but that's the Hondo thing where you're in the Falcon at Disney. They are going to be doing a new mission using Epic, which Disney just partnered with, and to do a Mandalorian and Grogu run where you're in the Falcon. So if you're in the parks, this one's kind of pretty exciting. I'm excited about this one.
I mean,
who's the pilot as well? How's the Falcon get there? I wonder.
I don't know how Falcon gets there. Yeah,
it's the Falcon with Mandalorian and Grogu. Hint, hint. Maybe they're coming in the movie. Hint, hint.
I doubt it.
You know what would be hilarious if the entire ride is narrated by Nin Nubs or Nin Nub or whatever in his native language, and you don't understand a word he's saying.
This ride is the worst of the Star Wars rides, and it's bad because you either get to be a really good thing, which is you get to fire at the enemies and pilot, or you got to repair the ship when you get hit. And if you're stuck repairing the ship when you get hit, you wait in line, and all you got to do is hit a button to repair the ship. I hope they do something on this ride to where you're not just hitting a button to repair a ship, because if they do that, it's still gonna suck. Because you can't even watch what's going on out there because you got to watch everything that's flashing on the side of you to see when you need to hit a button to repair the ship. So I really
at least give me the droid ratchet or something so I can stick it in a port and ratchet it or make it cool.
With droids going around there,
Yeah.
Listen, I don't understand why Disney doesn't. Galaxy's Edge and stuff like that doesn't just bring all the characters into friggin' being there, Luke, Han, Leia, and all those guys.
Well, you gotta have selling points.
There is selling points. The
original same reason why they release movies for a limited time and then put them in a vault.
It's doing well. It's their number one attraction at Disneyland and number 2 at Disney World. So it's not like it's hurting.
It's hurting as much. It could be doing a whole lot better. They could be doing a whole lot better. I'm telling you, nobody wants to see
everything. They can be doing better at everything.
Nobody wants to see Rey. Nope.
The Resistance Ride Sticks is the one where you get in the Falcon, and it's the one with Hondo right now, and you're doing a smuggling run for Hondo.
The one that's only at this. No, this is at both, right? Yeah,
it's at both. Yep. So
what's the one that's only at?
So Hondo will be going away at least for one of the missions. I don't know how they'll do it because I only have one, so I don't know if you can pick your mission or they switch between them. But this is coming in conjunction with the movie.
If you're the gunner, can you accidentally shoot Mando there out of the window?
Maybe, yeah, yeah, yeah. Much better than number 1, exactly. Should be better. Yeah. All right, we got some confirmation. I know we've been speculating on this one that Vane, the pirate from Mando season 3, was going to be in the Acolyte. Here we got this cool demonstration.
Pirates, Hondo. I'm telling you, Hondo. That's going to be the surprise in this
Why? These are all bad.
He's a
pirates. Why is Hondo going to be?
You said the same. We said the same thing about season 3 of The Mandalorian, and he wasn't in that. Why would he be in this with the exact same pirate crew?
In season 3, and I got something to talk about that when this movie comes out. So anyway, but this, it makes sense. Actually,
why? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense because there's pirates. There's going to be Hondo. There's pirates in everything. There's pirates in Mandalorian.
They already gave you the pirate crew that's going to be in it. This is them. Hondo's not there. It's not Hondo's crew.
No, it's not Hondo's crew. He's going to help Jude Law. I'm telling you.
You don't even know if Jude Law's a good guy.
Why do they need it? Why do they need Hondo when they got a Jedi?
I thought that was a little
Jude
weird.
Law is a pirate, a force-using pirate. He's a pirate. And
Yeah, but why do you need Hondo when you got Jude Law?
Well, one guy can't take out everybody. Well,
have you ever seen?
Well,
wait till we get to this week's comics, and then I'll tell you about that.
I did not cut up the trailers that were public for everybody, but we did get a trailer this week that we can talk about for Skeleton Crew released. I didn't put any other things in here because they're public for everybody. But I put this one in here just for you, Dom, and for Marco. I know this is not what you wanted.
Subtitles. Why are you talking like a human? Actually, okay,
galactic basic. A lot of aliens speak galactic.
So you both seen the trailer, right?
Yeah, we've seen it many times.
Where they're coming from? Does it remind you of Guardians of the Galaxy when they went to the town with all the animal? Season 3, episode 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy when they went to the planet, and it was Earth, like an Earth-like thing, and you had cars and you had everybody like animals and people who.
It still reminds me a little bit of like Space Camp. That's essentially the premise I got from the trailer was they discover a ship, right?
Yeah,
and they think it's a Jedi temple from what they say, but I think it's actually a ship. And they get into the ship, and somehow they manage to launch the ship into space, and it goes to whatever coordinates or whatever it's set to go to. That's like the exact story of Space Camp.
Well, also it's Goonies. They get lost in the caves. It's like you know all these kid movies, which is awesome. I think this is going to be really fun. It looks like a fun ride, and it looks intriguing, interesting. I hope it gives everybody the nostalgia that they're looking for.
Let me just say, this is not the Star Wars that I want to see, but the trailer made it look better than I thought it was going to be. So I can go in there and saying the trailer actually looked good. That doesn't mean I'm excited for this thing because I'm not. I like Star Wars where we expand the lore, where we learn new things about the galaxy.
This is the lore. It's in the Mandoverse. The Mandoverse.
This is not expanding the lore of Star Wars. It's
building
I get it. It's a kid's show. I get that.
But it's going to be connected. That's the whole thing. See, like I'm telling you.
It's not going to be connected other than one pirate that we saw in Mando season 3.
Well, it's going to be connected. Jude Law's character. They're all going to be.
That's it. That's all the connection.
Find Ahsoka and Sabine on the planet.
It's not going to be that, Dom.
Yes, it will.
They're not going to have anything to do with Ahsoka season 2 because it's not built for the people that watched Ahsoka season 1.
I'm telling you, it will be. Watch. Stop being Marco. No. Agree with me. Agree.
I agree with you.
But to me, did anybody else think it was kind of weird? Like, so they've been like pushing it as like this Jude Law led series forever. Jude Law's in this trailer for like 2 seconds at the very end.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
I don't think he talks. I don't know if he talks in the trailer.
The mystery of Jude Law. The second trailer we'll probably see before. When's the second trailer? Maybe October?
Yeah, October, November.
Yeah, a couple months probably.
Yeah. They'll probably show more Jude Law.
Well, maybe World Series.
And look, all we know is he's a pirate and he's force sensitive. And we don't
even know he's a pirate. Let's be clear.
Yeah, you don't know that he's a pirate.
He said he's a pirate. I read the article. He is a pirate.
Okay. I'm just saying
Well, from the trailer, you don't know he's a pirate. I'll put it that way.
Well, the whole thing is that we don't know if he's a force user or he's a Jedi. We don't know if he survives Order 66. That's the whole thing. We don't know that.
And we're not going to learn all that, I don't think.
Well, you know what?
It has nothing to do with the story. We don't need his backstory. I hope we don't get a flashback of him for JJ's sake. Like that would be the first novel ever. So
make a novel.
Let's give a flashback to what happened, how he survived.
I don't know how deep they're going to bury this in lore, given the fact that, like, it's, I guess, target audience or whatever you want to call it is primarily like kids,
yeah,
and young adults. Like, I don't think they're going to like steep this thing in lore like they did, like Ahsoka or something like
No,
that.
but they'll probably have a story of the Drew Lord character, Jod.
Well, you gotta have a story. He's a new character.
Yeah,
You're just gonna like have him show up and not know anything about him.
I'll say this is not for me. It's not built for me, and I'm okay with that. And it looks
it's
good.
for your daughter.
I can ask
For
for.
your kid. You should.
My
Be
kid
happy.
watched the trailer. My kid was interested in it.
There you go.
No, it's a little bit too old for my kid at that time. Like my kid probably like 2 years from now above, but we'll still watch it as long as it's.
Dwayne, yes, it needs to be a Sith.
We don't need that to be a Sith.
I want that to happen, but it's not going to happen. I would love that to happen, but it's not.
All right. Other things out there, we found out. Not that there's not going to be a season 2, but we did not get an Acolyte season 2 renewal.
I'm shocked by this.
Oh my God! Didn't I say that? Oh my God!
Jacinto, what his quote is, "My fingers are crossed for a season 2." That's not very hopeful. I was like 75-25. This thing was happening season 2, and now I flip flopped after the D23. I'm like 25-75. I mean, I get it. $180 million is a lot for any TV show.
It is. And also, yes, I know all the trolls and stuff like that, but it did get a lot of heat. There was a lot of negative feedback on the show, too. Even though a lot of people did like it, but there was a lot of negative feedback on the show.
I don't know that they care about the negative feedback. Your other favorite project, the Rey movie, is going forward and has plenty of negative feedback. But I think they care more about the bottom line, and whether or not this show met that bottom line is questionable. It doesn't seem like it quite got, at least from Nielsen numbers and stuff, it's not seeming like it quite got the ratings boost that Ahsoka and Obi-Wan did and some of the other series. I mean, they didn't give Obi-Wan a season 2, and it had higher ratings than this and cost less. So
90 mil, yeah. But you know what? The story wasn't that good. Obi-Wan.
No, this is a better story. It was.
Yeah, but that doesn't always matter either.
I know it doesn't.
Look, at the end of the day, we've been getting a lot of lousy stories, and story is a plus. Yeah, you have all this action, all that stuff. If there's no story to it, it's just meaningless. Like, but I'm the one that told you that I didn't want to watch this because I felt this was this and that, but then I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the series. I liked it a lot. I thought it was good. It had a lot of good. A lot of good. It had a good story. I know, and I did say that this had more story than the sequel trilogy did. I said that a couple of times. It did, but at the end of the day,
we already rated that. Go back 2 shows.
We did that already.
I think I had like 6.5.
I was thinking 8.5 to, I think maybe it was 9. Somewhere in there.
7.5. But other than that, these characters that they show didn't gravitate towards a lot of people.
McGregor's still pushing for it.
No, he's still pushing for it. You know what?
But it's not coming back.
We might see Ewan McGregor as a Force ghost in something down the road.
Or it might be like a show they bring back in 10 years.
Maybe.
Because there's no rush on that thing.
At the end of the day, you'll probably see him in something for the 50th anniversary.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. You're big on this 50th anniversary thing.
A documentary, maybe. That's about it.
Yeah. I'm disappointed. I really wanted to see the renewal. And when Daredevil got announced as a season 2 was coming and we didn't get anything for this, that also
Daredevil
spoke to me.
Yo, that trailer was dope and fire, man. Daredevil. I can't wait for that shit.
All right. Star Wars Lego Rebuild the Galaxy trailer arrived, and look who's in the back. Darth Nubs. Everybody in the chat picked that up. We got Nubs in the Rebuild the Galaxy. My kid was so excited when I showed her about that.
How funny was this? How funny was this? The troopers. Yeah. He's saying, it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Yeah, that was great.
Calamari's all freaking clones. That's awesome.
Yeah. Ruben, I think you will find out what happens. It just might be in a different form. Other than it might be in a book.
Maybe a comic book.
Could be. Who knows?
Nah, but yeah, this looks good. Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker.
I think it's too much almost. When I was watching this trailer, I'm like,
what the hell?
There's just too much going on in this thing.
Is he the apprentice?
I don't know. We'll find out. He might be the main one. I think it's going to be fun. but you have to know a lot of Star Wars for this thing to make sense.
Yeah, because everything is all backwards. The good guys and the bad guys, it's all crazy. Yeah.
I'm not sure this one is going to be the hit that they think it is, because it's a heavy buy-in. Like,
yeah, but at the same time, when you have it as a comedy, you kind of like, that's the way the games have always worked for Lego Star Wars, and even the specials and stuff. Like, you didn't need to know who Vinay was to enjoy the Vader's Castle Halloween special. Like, you just knew he was that type of character, and it was funny. It doesn't matter that you like knew exactly who he was from his history or something. So I think if they make it funny enough and everything, it's going to hit a broad enough audience that people will
I hope so. I like these. So
yep.
This one comes out in September. So I don't think we're getting another trailer. I think this is it.
That, it's funny. I was watching it. I watched it twice. I was laughing, man. Let me get this straight. So I project myself. Luke is like, so I found my nephew. I go,
yeah. So, yeah, my father's evil. He turns for 5 minutes. He dies. Yeah, all that type of stuff. Yeah, it's like, Luke, that's right. Your story does kind of suck. So we've been saying that for a while. I know Dom thinks you need more Luke, but the story kind of sucks.
Telling you, man, you bring back Luke Han and Leia, man. That would be people to celebrate.
No, we don't need it.
Make a lot of money.
Don't need it. Don't need it. All right. Now, the 2 trailers that we didn't see. I got some images for those. Mando and Grogu trailer. Teaser trailer came out. It is still coming in May. So that means it's coming like a week or two after Avengers 5.
Listen, so it's coming out May 22nd?
It doesn't just say
I think they just said May, I think.
They just said May.
It's all right, so it's coming out in May. It's about 2 years away, and they show footage. Go figure it out.
They've already started filming.
No, they've started filming. Also, too, I think some of the footage was recycled from season 1. Like, this looks like an exact shot from season 1. Like,
the first 30 seconds was recycled.
No, it's recycled because they're talking about where the story began and how it ended, and now the movie's going to take.
Like when they show, like the Razor Crest, for instance. I'm not so sure that that's actually in the film, or if that's like the recap kind of.
That's actually,
this is him in the Razor. Zeb is in the Razor Crest.
It's Zeb's Razor Crest. It's actually not the Razor Crest. It's a ship that looks like the Razor Crest. It's not the Razor Crest. It's Zeb's ship.
I don't think so.
I think that he's going to get the Razor Crest back. I think it's Razor Crest 2. I think that Zeb is going to, at the end of this movie, he's going to have the Razor Crest
back. But how
back.
do we know this isn't Zeb before?
Well, apparently, this is the thing.
We don't know when the movie's taking place.
It might be taking place before season 3. This could be before season 3 or
before season 2.
Or season 2, in between that timeline. We don't know.
It kind of feels like it would be. Like, I mean, if you're, let's say you haven't watched the show very much, right?
Yep.
You're going to come in there and like they're going to start. If they did it now, where it sits in the timeline after season 3, you're throwing in all this like, extra Mandalorians and lore about mythosaurs and all this other stuff going on, and the Darksaber and all that. And
I
it's
hope
much simpler for a new audience if you come in with just Mandalorian and Grogu, like it was at the end of season 1. So
yep.
I hope it's not Moff Gideon, the bad guy, or something like that. Because
I don't think it'll be him, but I mean, there's any number of like conflicts they can come up with. But
if it takes place after season 3 and after Ahsoka, you have Thrawn in the regular universe.
I don't think they want to do that either. I don't think they want to do that. I don't think they want it to be that connected. I think JJ's right. It could be the old Razor Crest.
It could be, but it also could be Zeb's ship, new ship. We don't, like I said, we're gonna find out more about this. And
I'm interested to see how Zeb will look in something like
live
this.
Action.
Yeah, in live action. I mean, we got him a little bit in
he did look good.
Mando,
but good in season 3.
But it was all CGI. You can't do all CGI if he's going to be a bigger player in, Well,
listen, if you notice the one scene they showed the Rebel base, the bar where in season 3 where he went, they showed that again. So you might get him in the beginning, and then Mando goes on his quest to whatever the quest is for, whatever.
We're going to some ice planet. We know that.
Well, it looks like Hoth. I don't know, man.
It's not Hoth. It's not Hoth. We'll figure out what it is, but
you have
why would it be Hoth? There's lots of other ice planets. It could be.
I know there is, but it looks like it has.
We got snowtroopers here that I mean, this is early footage, so and poorly captured. So I hope they look a little bit better than this, but that's all right.
Well,
You got Grogu crawling through a tunnel type of deal. We saw that one in the trailer. We got them on this ice planet. He's in this,
It looks like Hoth.
That part was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like Hoth, though.
It looks like an ice planet.
It looks like an ice planet, which is what Hoth is. We get the job. Yes.
I know, but I would say it has that feel. But I like the what is it? The ATST? What is the little
converted walker there.
Yeah,
like
and then they go up against two walkers, which that's not going to end up very well for them.
Exactly. And I like this.
Hey, Babu Frick is an excellent pilot. You can't.
Yo, Babu Frick, they're in the mouse droid. They're in the mouse droid.
They're in this droid. This thing that's going
in this thing, I think. But
they're in this thing.
They're in that thing? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they're in that thing.
Yeah, it could be the mouse droid.
Why would they be in a mouse droid?
Yeah, also, I don't think Grogu and two Babu Fricks could fit in a mouse droid. But
no,
I don't know, man.
I'm not exactly.
That doesn't make sense, Tom.
It doesn't make sense, but you never know, man. Come on.
No, you do know. It doesn't make sense.
You don't know. Listen, you keep saying that. You don't know that scene there. It's like
it's not a mouse droid. They're not.
It's like we don't know that's Hoth, even though you've told us it's Hoth.
Grogu could be on top with Mando right now, and Grogu could use the Force to knock down the AT-AT. Come on, man.
Wow.
We'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the slides. We had a few other scenes that were hard to capture on this bad one from the Mando one. We also got quite a few scenes from Andor season 2. Looks beautiful as always.
Is that them building the set on the lower right, or what?
That is them building a ship, which we have not seen in canon yet.
That's actual footage. It almost looks like there's a blue screen off to the side.
I think it is, yeah. That's a TIE Avenger. We have not seen a TIE Avenger in canon yet. If it is, I mean, it's hard to tell, but to me, it looks like a TIE Avenger from what's going on the outside.
Getting close to Rogue One. This every 3 episodes is going to be an arc. And it's
yeah, we didn't learn anything.
The planet on the upper left is hosting the Olympics. Is that what that is?
Yep, they're hosting the Olympics.
Swimming pool. And...
We're going to have the girl that's breakdancing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's so each 3-episode arc is going to be a year time. They'll be jumping through.
And the last the 12 9 10 9 10 11 and 12 will be right next to Rogue One.
Yeah,
which is good. Maybe we'll get some bounty hunters. Maybe. Come on, give me something, god damn it.
We got so many bounty hunters in the first.
We're getting Saw.
Yeah.
We saw that we got that confirmed, which we already knew we were going to get Saw, because why wouldn't Saw be in there? We're going to get some more mob scenes with some bombing going on there. And so we're going to be building off of what happened on Ferrix elsewhere. Deidre's coming back. Our boy, what's his name? Kirill? That's his name? What's his name?
What's his name? I forgot his name.
Blue milk guy.
Yeah.
Stalker. Crazy stalker.
The stalker.
Karn, isn't it? Cyril Karn.
Oh, yeah, Cyril Karn.
Yeah.
He's not in official garb, so I wonder if he is no longer employed anywhere. We'll see if he
might be part of the Empire now.
He's had so much success in his career, other careers.
His uncle was going to take care of him.
Yeah.
His mom kept telling him his uncle's going to take care of you.
Yeah, not going to happen. So
he's like the frat boy that's in like the 7th year of college or something.
Yeah. So who's at the bottom right side? Are you talking about this one for Saw?
Saw.
Yeah, it's Saw Gerrera. With 2 tubes behind.
Yes, 2 tubes. I like 2 tubes.
You do. For some reason, you are a big 2 tubes fan.
I like him.
He was a dick.
He's so important. He's so important in anything.
I know. Background character. I don't know. I love background characters. I don't know.
And we got 3 more. We got Krennic, who we knew were going to be there. We got pictures of him. He's aged a bit. Put on a little bit of
even though this is a prequel, but
yeah. that one they couldn't really fix there. You got K2 looking good, right next to Andor, and you got the guy from season 1, Milik, whatever his name was in prison with him and broke out. He's coming back.
Nice.
So
Andy Serkis was supposed to be in season 2, I think.
Well, we know he's going to be in season 2. We didn't get any footage of him in season 2.
Yeah.
So
I'd be surprised if we don't get a Galen.
Probably will.
With Krennic being in there, I don't know.
They said this is coming out first half of 2025.
Do you think we'll get freaking what's his name? Oh, Jesus Christ. Peter Cushing. What's his name?
Tarkin?
Talking.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a hologram or something. Maybe, but
Maybe, but he's been in a lot of things.
What about Vader?
No,
I doubt that. I think this
Vader already stole the show once with the movie. Not going to happen again. Don't need it.
I think that kind of would ruin that part of the movie too.
It would.
To kind of have like another Vader.
That's right. You have bounty hunters who make it better. There you go.
Yes, Dom. I'm going to give it to you this time. Yes,
thank you. That's all I want. That's what. If you tell me that, I'll be happy until the show comes out. Then I'll just wait. Thank you.
This thing will. I think this will be the May release. That's my guess. This will fall into that May category. If we get Skeleton Crew, will be December, January. Maybe I don't know if it'll tie up. I think it'll be in January.
I'm watching April. You'll probably get.
There's nothing else coming out for the rest of the year, Dom.
No, you get this. Star Wars Celebration is in April. We might get this around Star Wars Celebration time.
Well, that'd
be May, right after Celebration. Yeah.
No, April. It's April. Celebration is April.
Yeah, I get that.
At the end of April, yes.
And April.
This would be May, beginning of May.
May 4th, yeah. May the 4th be with you. Yeah, you're right.
We got nothing else coming out.
There's no cartoons, no nothing, man.
That we know of. There'll be another cartoon. I am positive there'll be another cartoon.
Okay, Dom. When are they going to announce this other cartoon? Is it a D23? Oh no.
I didn't say they're going to announce it. I said we're going to get another cartoon. It might be Tales of the Jedi. It might be Visions. Who knows what it will be? We're going to get
another Visions. I don't know when that'll be, but
we always get something. Even though
Visions to me seems like it's an easy thing for them to do because it's not canon. And they can just give it to these animation studios and be like, "Go nuts! Give us the product in like 8 months."
Exactly. So
like, get back to us when you're done.
We'll get something. I don't know what it will be, but I will be surprised if we get Ahsoka season 2 before 2026 at this rate. It's not even filming. Not even anywhere near it.
I think December. We're going to get something toward the end of the year. We're going to get Ahsoka. They're starting to film in September.
He's got to finish the movie, right?
They got to film the movie first.
Yeah, for the movie. Yeah, but they can still work on it. It's John Favreau's movie. It's that Dave Filoni is overlooking it.
You think he's not going to be on set every day?
He'll be on set, but he's also probably doing the Ahsoka series. The Ahsoka series is coming out in December. I guarantee it's getting filmed in September. We're gonna have this in September. This movie's not coming out for 2 years, 2026. So they can wait and they can film more in 2025. The end of in May of 2026. You got 2 years before this movie comes out. Ahsoka is a priority to come out next year.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think so. I think their priority right now is on Mando and Grogu, and that's where their energy is going to be.
I know, but you're not going to have just one show.
You might. You might know. 2025 could be pretty barren. We'll see.
You know,
I think we'll get another animated show. I think it'll get announced, if not before at Celebration for the fall release. But
you know what?
I could see one live action and one animation, and then maybe a Visions.
You know what? Maybe an animated show. Like they'll probably get towards the end of the year. They'll mention something that we'll get that it's in. They're going to surprise us with something. And people keep talking about that freaking clone uprising.
I don't think they're going to do clones again. We need to do something other than clones. We've got enough clones.
Yeah. Give us a bounty hunter series. Yes.
I know you want bounty hunters, but I don't know. I'll be surprised. Anyway, that is our D23 Star Wars news wrap up. I don't know where JJ went, but we got some comics that he has to review here in a second.
We can talk about stuff like, the Grogu movie. It has to do well. It's going to have to do well. If it
the Grogu movie will do well. It'll do well. It doesn't matter what it is. Everybody in their family is going to go see it.
I know.
I'm going to take my family to see it. I'm not going to take my family to see Avengers because Avengers isn't going to be as kid friendly. I'm not taking a 7-year-old to see Avengers. I'll see Avengers.
Come on, she might like the Avengers, man.
Maybe at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, Grogu and Mando is going to set up. I know you're not going to want it that way. It's going to be a little bit more family friendly than you want, and it's not going to give you the lore that you want because that's what they want.
Mandalorian is family friendly, and they had people dying, even with. So
the Mandalorian is family friendly ish.
Yes, but there is deaths and people get killed. Mando.
That's understandable, but it's not going to be as dark as the Mandalorian, and it's not going to be as lore heavy as the Mandalorian.
Put it in the movies. It's not TV. It's in the movies.
I don't care. They can still do kid friendly stuff.
They could. Listen, it's going to have some dark tones to it.
You don't know that. You don't. We'll see.
I don't know. I hope, I really hope that.
I think it's going to be PG
13.
No, PG.
PG 13. Everything's PG 13.
I think it's going to be PG. I think Mandalorian and Grogu is going to be PG.
PG 13.
I will be shocked.
I agree with this. If they do animated, then we'll probably go that route.
Yeah. What do you think? What's your
something?
Mando and Grogu, PG or PG 13?
Probably PG 13.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're on Dom's side. I think it's going to be PG.
Yeah. I mean, there's almost, honestly, with the way theaters work, there's almost no reason to make a PG version of it. Because so it used to be like G rating was much more common. And then like everything is now PG for the most part. Even animated movies. Even animated movies are PG. So I think it'll probably just be PG-13 because that's the way it works, and there's really only 3 arcs anymore. I don't think they'll want to make it rated R, but
it will definitely not be. No, I think
it'll be rated R, but it's not going to be rated R.
It's not going to be not that one. If they ever do one, it's not going to be that.
Well, in Star Wars, you get away with very rarely having blood or any of that thing like in your violence, so that helps a lot. But.
All right, JJ. The comics.
Yeah.
That's the best thing of all.
I don't know why I did all this work. I'm the only one on this panel that bothered to read these garbage comics. I didn't even want to do that. I only did it because Marco wasn't here.
Week. I usually read the comics. I couldn't make it to the comic book store this week, so I'll give myself a little bit of slack for that one.
And I stopped reading comics.
Yeah, Dom just doesn't know how to read.
Dom just doesn't care anymore. But
I don't
see, like Cosmic thinks it'll be PG-13.
Say PG-13.
Yep.
Anyways, so we start off. I don't know, probably because nobody read Inquisitors 1. We don't know where they left off. But we started off with basically Grand Inquisitor failing to catch this. Which, by the way, never in my life have I heard a comic repeat a character's name as much as these comics have so far. I know the name of Tessu Run, who's the Jedi here in this comic, more than I care to ever hear a name again in my life. Like I don't want to.
Tessu Run. Castle Run?
Yeah. About every other panel has his name in it. Even the narration of himself, he sometimes refers to himself as the legend of Tessu Run. I'm like, shut up. You should just say me or something. Use a pronoun for the love of God.
I mean, they just made the character to die, so that's the other hard part.
For me, he stayed alive so far, unfortunately.
I mean, I like the Inquisitors. I actually like the first one, but I don't care at all about Tessu Run because Tessu Run is dying at the end of this thing, and everybody that knows anything about comics knows that he's gonna die. If he doesn't, I'll be shocked and it'll be stupid. But I want to see the Inquisitors be the Inquisitors, and so I hope we get all that here.
By the way, I cut these differently for anybody in the know here because I didn't have access to Marco's super secret proprietary file of the comic template. So I made my own. So if you're wondering why it looks different and doesn't have a brick wall for the 88th week straight, that's why. So anyways, we start off with basically the fifth, or the Grand Inquisitors failed, and Vader took him off the case but didn't kill him. Just threatened him like in typical Vader fashion and put fifth brother on the case. And then we get the fifth brother kind of getting tricked by Tessu Run into showing up to this, I guess, hideout, which the hideout just is him of a hologram. And we get a cool flashback of Tessu Run. By cool, I mean not cool. It's like super freaking boring. Him talking to his master in the woods.
Look at that sloth. You got a sloth over there.
Yeah, this is the new character, Pylor.
Oh my god.
He's a pirate, and he lasts all of about 3 pages before he gets.
Is he a sloth?
I don't know what race he is.
It looks like a sloth to me. So
he's a sloth, yeah.
He does look like a sloth. That's true.
I think it's a lot, man.
But they show up to capture Tetsu Run and turn them in for the bounty. Tetsu Run decides to destroy the entire pirate crew. Okay. But he does leave them alive. And then we show up with the next panel of Tetsu Run finally showing up again, facing off against the fifth brother. We get a cut to these two guys. These two guys were in the first one. I can't even remember their names because they're not important. But they're Tetsu Run's friends that hang out with him in the Jedi hideout or whatever. I don't know if they're actually... I can't figure out if these guys are Jedi or like Will's guardians. I don't know what their real role is here. But all they do is talk about Tetsu Run in the third person. And say things like, why didn't you just don't wave goodbye to Tetsu Run? He just leaves. I'm like, just say he, for the love of God. Like, why do you keep saying his name? Anyways, him and the fifth brother.
Has got it, because the sloths have excellent reflexes. So that's a great pilot.
He's a master of autopilot, I'm sure.
Do we know who this guy's master is? Tetsu
Run? That was him in the last panel here.
That's what I thought. We don't know his name.
Yeah, well, no, he was introduced. I think it's Vithith or something like that. I can't remember. It starts with a V, but he was introduced in the last book and died at the end.
Oh yeah.
So he's dead now. This is a flashback.
We knew he's gonna die. They're all dead.
Yeah. But so Tetsu Run faces off against the fifth brother. The fifth brother is confident he'll win. Obviously, he does not win. He gets his arm chopped off, which, hey, an Inquisitor getting their arm chopped off is like a rite of passage. So he went through that. And that's about it. It pretty much ends with Tetsu Run getting away, not refusing to kill the fifth brother, obviously, because this is pretty cool. So. And then the Grand Inquisitor vows to still find him. So we're going to get more Tetsu Run.
More Tetsu Run.
The third issue of the Inquisitors.
I don't mind that comic. So I'll pick it up and we'll read it next week.
Be on the lookout for Tetsu Run.
It does have pretty good art. The only thing I don't like Tetsu Run looks like a total nerd with a chili bowl haircut a lot of times. Like, I don't know why they chose like some of the imagery for their thing. Like they decided to actually make the Jedi look like space monks, which is kind of weird. And then he just gets like weird, like Amelia Earhart goggles. Like, why is he wearing these? I get why he's wearing them as a pilot. Why is he wearing them in the battle? Like, why wouldn't you take your goggles off? I don't know.
Yeah.
So then we get High Republic number 10, the Marvel run of the third phase. And look, they're helping out your show, basically, by putting
I know.
From the Acolyte or whatever on the cover of every single.
That. I hate they're taking up space for that.
Yeah.
On all the High Republic comics.
On every single High Republic. And the books now, too.
It's a waste.
But we start off with, for everybody who forgot, like me, where we left off, we start off with them trying to find Skier, and they have a homing beacon that apparently they're using to track him down. They show up at this space station. They figure out, what was her name? Her name, the girl?
Laura Dune?
No, in the purple.
Oh.
I think I should say there, I don't, but yeah.
I don't remember.
I can't remember what their name was. But any which way, you get a couple reunions here. You figure out, actually, it's basically the entire book is a reunion book. So they find out, they end up coming to find Skier. They find out that Lorna D actually activated the beacon along with Tarek. So you get the twins reunited. And then they go deeper into the space station.
Marco promised one of them was dead.
Yep.
Oh, still alive.
Just saying. He promised me last time that one of them was dead forever.
Yep.
So, and I said no.
And Skier's still alive.
Never killing off those twins ever. And so, spoiler alert, Marco was wrong again.
Still alive. And D's still alive.
Yeah.
Everybody's still alive. Even the blob guy is still alive.
The blob guy's going to live.
Oberlin or whatever. Yeah.
He's going to live forever. Like, how does he ever
kill
die?
those twins, you'll have a mob scene. You can't.
He actually there's a part in this book where I don't think I captured the slide, but he gets afraid of the nameless. I'm like, why are you afraid? You're basically immortal. I don't understand.
I get why you're afraid, but
yeah.
It's not going to do anything to you.
No. But anyways, we find out that Skier, who willingly went with, what's his name, Borsch, or whoever the mad scientist is?
Bulin.
Bulin, yeah. He went with Bulin willingly, and they think he's being tortured when they first see him, but he's actually kind of voluntarily being experimented on by the Nameless. But KVC thinks the Nameless are attacking him, so she goes after the Nameless. Then for some reason we cut away to that and we get the reunion of all these characters. So we get the reunion of the twins, obviously still alive. We get Lorna D reuniting with the stowaway, who I can't remember. And then you get cut back to the thing where the Nameless has started to overtake Kiwi, and I'm going to cut away because I don't want to spoil the end. The actual end has a twist on what happens and kind of tells you how Bulin is controlling these nameless and what happens to that. You probably should read it. I assume it's going to come into play in the future, but it definitely turns the tables on this whole situation of how the Jedi can fight the nameless and everything. So
we're getting the next time we're going to see all these characters is in the audiobook that comes out at the end of the year. And then the comics don't come back till February. So we're not going to see these characters for quite a while in the comic.
I imagine, I don't know how much the audiobooks can dig into this, but I imagine the end of this issue will pretty much tie directly into that.
I would assume so.
But so I didn't want to ruin it for anybody, but if you're keeping up with it, pick it up. If not, you can find out how to figure it out on your own.
I actually think BK is right on this one. BK, Marco does not know how to read. So I do. But I have to give him verbal notes because he can't read my written notes. So
Marco and me are on the same page with pronunciations. I'm really bad with those. So, and then we get everybody's favorite comics. You get things that I really don't remember what happened in them. Republic Adventures, and I don't remember because it's been like 3 months since the last issue. That's somewhere along those lines. But so this was the biggest tease of all. Hey, look, it's a century before the Acolyte again. But also we get wonderful picture of Farzala, who's not even in this book.
Really?
That part for you. Nope. All of Farzala you get is this hologram of Farzala right there. But it starts off with a Zine singing in this nightclub. So this was really weird. At first I thought like these people were imageries that she was just like seeing in her head. But it's supposed to be like a tribute, I guess, to all the fallen, because this is like the 1 year anniversary of Starlight falling or whatever. And they're actually projecting the images of all these people like dead and presumed dead.
Okay.
In the lounge, which was kind of weird. I'm like, I don't really know why we're doing that, but all right. And one of the images is ends up under dead is Lula, which of course freaks Zine out. She goes to confront him. This guy explains to them that, hey, after a year, and there's no basically news or whatever of your death through the public, you're considered dead. So I guess you're legally dead after 1 year of disappearing.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Like at some point, you got to have a rule for when they're gone. So
yeah,
I get it.
Court talks her down from her anger, and then we get this thing where they say it's kind of finally time to fight back, and we end up with Zine kind of meeting up with these villagers. They decide to charge the Nile fortress. We end up with a couple showdowns with, is it Zavala? Whoever the one general is there, that's the same race as Grand Inquisitor.
Yep.
She ends up beating him in a fight. And then we
this
go to the final.
This book didn't come out long ago. This book, it's a recap of the first pages are, but yes, this book is new. Yeah. I mean,
but
keep going.
And then you end up with the final boss fight against Tarek, which turns out Tarek's surprise is Lula.
So, but
right.
Why does it have to end with a,
Let's not go there, Dom.
I'm just saying.
You already knew those two characters were lesbians. It's not like this is new.
I know, but I'm just saying, that's what the High Republic is. That's what the High Republic's initiative is. So.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was interesting. I mean, that's part of the problem. You brought up like the recap thing. Like, part of the problem with this book is just that. With actually all these High Republic, I don't know if it's because they have such this length and long, but literally like the first 6 pages of every Adventures release, I feel like the last like 3 releases has been that. It's like 6 pages of recap. I get if you're following the story, but if they didn't have such a long thing in between, it'd be
because the
you're basically getting a
good.
book of pointlessness. But,
no, the story's no good. You make some more. It's not. It's not.
I mean,
it's just
like this story kind of went nowhere. Like I feel like there was obviously a reveal at the end, but like it's like I said, it's Zine freaking out that thinking Lula's dead or at least pronounced officially dead or whatever, and then it's Court talking her down, and then it's them getting angry about it and charging the Nile fortress, and then it's surprise it's Lula. Like
I don't have a problem with them kissing, but the fact is that it's more pronounced on that than the actual story itself. And that's the problem with the books.
Well, I don't know that. I mean, I think the story is just weak in general. I don't know that it's got anything to do with that.
The comics suck.
Like I said, that I mean, they featured Farzala on the cover. He's not even in the book.
Yep.
Like I assume this was like Farzala is going to like come back from the dead in this book and be part of this battle.
You know,
no.
Yeah, I think there was some. Yeah, let's just move on.
Yeah. Anyways, next week we get coming out. Hey, we're almost to the end of Vader. We got to suffer through 2 more issues, so we get Darth Vader 49 next.
Yep.
Where we'll get to see more of the
covers.
Yeah,
like
and we get to see. We also get for covers. We get the 25th anniversary of Anakin being rejected by the Council for the first time. Well, that's exciting. I do like the variant cover with him.
Yeah, the 125 looks cool.
Yeah, it does look good.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope I did the FOC right. I don't really know if I got the right books, but I'm not including all 900 million covers of Star Wars number 50.
There's so many. There's so many more if you got for exclusives for this thing.
But Star Wars 50.
And Wolfie Fanatic, yes, I don't read it because of that, because it's stuff. I don't like the stories. I like them.
I know Wayseeker likes it. Okay, to me, yeah. Like I feel like they could have condensed like these 8 issues into like 4 issues if they were trying. I just feel like there's a lot of like kind of filler there or stuff we don't need, especially when it comes to like recapping everything. They
got to revamp these books. They really have to revamp them for it to make it.
Well, that's what they're going to do. You're on Star Wars 50. That's the last issue of that run.
Yeah,
you're up to Vader 49.
Dark Horse stuff. And again, the Dark Horse stuff's not meant for you, Dom. It's just not.
Yeah.
It used to be be the Dark Horse stuff back in the day.
That's not what they have now. They don't have that. They have
the stuff Marvel stuff. Then though,
they have the stuff that's targeted for people that is 12 to 18. That's not you.
It's all ages comics. I mean, it's not like
it's not you, and so you have to be okay with it being not meant for you. The Dark Horse. Now the Marvel stuff is meant for you, and if the Marvel stuff sucks, that's a different story.
Yeah.
I mean, this is very true. They need to cook Dark Horse just for the screw ups alone.
They do, but they won't.
I think it really hurts sales. Probably. I don't really know. I don't have numbers, but it
hurts
has to hurt
storytelling
sales.
too. It just hurts storytelling.
Exactly. It makes it so choppy to tell a story that I don't see how they do it. And they have the kind of one shots and stuff in between, which make even less sense. And then stuff gets out of whack. Like now here you have, you could have flown this into one long kind of story with adventures, but you're going to have books kind of chopping up with some of these characters in it. And then you're going to have adventures coming out after that, which basically is a flashback to before those books. So it really, really hurts the way the story is told. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't know. Inquisitors 3, pick that up if you want to see more of Tetsu Run. And how many times they can call him Tetsu Run in one issue.
I'm excited for Star Wars to end, but I'm also excited to see the Kylo story because it is going to be flashing forward.
I know. I'm curious about how they're going to do like the Bounty Hunters Ewoks thing and release that kind of in that 12-week period, kind of a rapid fire thing.
I thought the Bounty Hunter Ewoks are going to be in the Lego movie. Bounty Hunter Ewoks. That's where comic books.
It's going to be the comics.
Who said they find? I didn't read that.
That was literally the story of it was Bounty Hunters versus Ewoks was the 12-week initiative or whatever.
That's right. I remember you said that they did that in Robot Chicken.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Make it rain, purple rain. Back from the dead, assholes.
I am also. I know we're Darth Vader 49. You put it here for next week. Darth Vader 50. They released the cover this week with the Darth Leia.
Yeah.
You know how you know if this comic book is worthless? On your final issue, you do a what-if version of what would have happened because the other 49.
Oh, yeah. I should have included that. And I didn't, but yeah. It looks like she's in a wedding dress. Why is she in a wedding dress?
Well, she's in armor. She's got armor. It's some kind of
why is there a veil to the armor?
I don't know.
What is the armor?
All I know it makes no sense. This whole story makes no sense. I'm so ready for
I'm looking forward to the stories that are coming now. With the after the 12-part series. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
I'm just hoping that Marvel really has. I don't understand what happened. I don't understand that they just like if you're gonna do books, you know what? Just don't put them in the canon.
I know exactly what happened. They said we need 4 years of stories in a 1-year gap where there's nothing to tell. And that's the problem. They shoehorn the writers. Stories. It's Marvel's fault. I'm not blaming anything on Pack or Soul. You can't tell 50 issues of 1 year story And you can't even tell anything because you know what's going to happen with the characters because you know nobody dies.
I'll remain adamant at the fact that like the downfall in quality started when they started trying to do a huge crossover. And I guarantee you that was a Marvel idea, not necessarily a Lucasfilm idea or even a Disney idea. It was probably a Marvel idea that said, this works so great in our Marvel comics. And, you know, we do this all the time with X-Men. Let's do it with Star Wars. Let's have this gigantic, like 39 issue, like multiple run, like, yeah, War of the Bounty Hunters.
All they had to do was
giant initiative.
Shadows of the Empire, pull it into canon, and there's your War of the Bounty Hunters right there. And then do something else. That I don't understand. This, you know, I'm telling you, Dark Horse books were so much freaking better. I know Dark Horse, the stories are better. The Marvel
no, that's not true. No, I got to push back on that a little bit. There were some. So Dark Horse was largely, with the exception of Republic, which was the 2013 Star Wars release and was like the main line or whatever you want to call it. Eventually became Republic. With the exception of that, everything else was short runs, usually like at most 4 issues, and some of them were good, but also probably at least 50% of them were batshit crazy, and about another 25% probably pretty freaking terrible. Honestly, like I mean, there were some really bad stories in there. Jedi Academy Leviathan was really freaking weird. Like there didn't need to be another Jedi Academy thing.
Chewbacca one was weird.
And there's the other thing. They ran out of ideas too.
Sorry,
it's not just like Marvel runs out of ideas. The Dark Horse ran out of ideas too. Like they made basically sequel miniseries to miniseries that didn't need sequels, and it really showed the bad storytelling in there. Yeah.
You know what Marvel should do? Just make adaptations of the novels.
No. We had good comics. Marvel does some good comics.
Yeah,
Marvel did some good. TIE Fighter was good. We had good comics.
People.
We just haven't been a while.
In a writer's room with good writers, comic books, and put out some good stuff. And stop.
I mean, we even had like the Yoda series was a good. Like that 10 issues. We've had good comics. What's not good is when you try to do these long series and you give them the authors no room to navigate.
Well, you know what? You know what's not good? Dave Filoni not letting them play with other characters, not having characters that should be in the comic books freaking act up. Fennec Shand, freaking goddamn Cad Bane. Those characters should be in comic books working their way. Oh, Disney have plans for them. What plans do they have?
Tom, I know you want these characters. You don't need them for good comics. There's lots of other good stories you can tell.
Stories that they work, and that's the thing. They got to stop that shit.
Like, to me, for Star Wars comics, you've traditionally had these characters that have kind of stayed in comics. Valance is one of them. Aphra is another one of them. I like comics based around them. The problem with, like, for instance, the Bounty Hunters comic with the Valance story, it just went on too long.
Yeah.
Like, you need to move your characters along. Like, that should have been at most 15 issues probably for that thing. And if you cut it off there and you could have kept it even under Bounty Hunters, but started it with another Bounty Hunter kind of be the focus of that story, it would have been probably fine. But you don't really have, there's these like, the arcs now are like these things that seem like they have an idea and they just have to run with it. And like Wayseeker said, it's almost like they have to use that idea for too long. Like think how long I'd never actually liked it that much, but I remember when we reviewed the run of Aphra with the All Spark thing or whatever it is, the Spark Eternal or whatever, like that. I remember you guys liking the first few issues of that.
Yep.
But as it stretched on into like issue, I don't know, probably like 6 or something of that, like it got really tired really quick. There was no reason that needed to be like a 15 issue thing. Like,
look,
or if you're going to do it, I like how they're doing this one. You're going to get an issue every week. If you're going to have like a 12 issue, a long arc, give us an issue every week. It is so hard to ask me to say, this is one story I'm going to get for a year. If you do a long arc, that's a year of my comic book for that one is this one arc. So if you don't make it amazing, I have to be sticking with what's happening from what happened 11 months ago. And that is a lot to ask from a reader.
You know, I hope like moving forward, going in the next couple of years, that they give us some really good quality stories. Like the Marvel runs don't have to go that long, you know, because they like their number ones. We all know they like their number ones. 25 issues, maybe tops, and then start a new run. And, you know, the covers sell, but make the stories interesting. Look, you have 30 years of story now that takes place from Return of the Jedi going into The Force Awakens. 30 years of story. You can prolong that and make good stories. You just need somebody good in the writer room that can friggin' generate it.
They can write stories. I'm not worried about them writing stories.
I mean, so like you say that, but like the writers that they have doing a lot of these now have written good stories. Soul has written good stories before.
Yeah.
You know, Gillian writes good Star Wars. There's good Star Wars writers writing comics right now. The problem is, I think one, like they rely on Soul too much to do too many different things.
Exactly.
He's stretched too thin. And the other issue is, like they give these, like Wong, they give them these things, and she has to stretch out that idea for 12, 15 issues. It's too long. Like let them create storylines. Let them create characters if they want. Like, okay, I keep making fun of Tessu Run in this Inquisitors thing, and he's not a very well written character, honestly, and the writing's not that great. But at least they tried something with a new character. Yep. I'd rather have that in like a 4-issue mini run than like another Luke story or another Lando story or whatever.
All right, let me ask you a question. All kidding aside, characters in comic books, right? When did they make the last time they made a badass male character that kicks ass in the comic books? All the women characters they keep making.
Wait. When was the last time they made one, or when was the last time they tried? When was the last time they tried to make one?
All right. When's the last time they tried to make a character that's badass, that's up there, that could be?
I think they're trying to do that right now with several characters. I think Luke in the mainline Star Wars run, they're trying to make it seem like he's cool and badass. I don't think he is, but they're trying.
No, brand new character.
Okay, again, Tessu Run and Inquisitors. I think they're trying to make him seem.
Doesn't sound like a strong.
I know, but they're trying. Like the way they write the character is very seriously. They're trying to make him a kick-ass, seemingly
you have Kira,
legendary character.
Kira, you made friggin' what's the face? Fennec Shan. All right, they're cool characters, but where is the cool male counterpart?
Okay, I don't know what you want with Star Wars, Don.
I don't know.
You want them to use all these old characters, and then you want them to also create new characters.
In the comic book,
which one is it?
No.
They tried to do it with Valance. They tried to bring Valance.
No, Valance has been around since the 70s.
I get that, but
he wasn't around for 30 years.
Character, but they did a big story. That's a cool character. They're trying to make
Gengar cool at one point.
They're trying to do it with Inquisitors too.
I mean, so far all of the Inquisitors, the whole first issue was the Grand Inquisitors. Second one's fifth.
We got Martian Rowe. They do it with Martian Rowe. We've had comics about Martian Rowe.
You have an entire Vader run, which Vader I know is not a new character, but there's an entire thing there.
Hey, Wookiee fanatic, I hate Mando. Don't tell me about Mando.
So I think you're wrong. I don't know what to tell you, Dom. Well, they do both.
The weak characters. They got to make somebody. They got to make cool.
Martian Rowe. You like Martian Rowe?
I like Martian Rowe. Yeah, I do.
He's one.
But he's in the past. I mean, now.
There's no now. Star Wars has no now.
The focus of the books has been on Kiwi, and I think there's also great. I wish they would include more stories with them, but I think there's great High Republic male characters. Bell is an example of a really good High Republic. Wreath, I think, is a really good male High Republic. Like, I think there's plenty of them around, Dom. I think you're just not looking necessarily.
I know. I'm just saying the fact is that, it just aggravates me, the fact that you have all these weak first appearances, these weak characters that they're putting in books.
But that's always been the way, dude. Star Wars first appearances, like, people will be like, oh, well, there's a first appearance in, next week's issue or something like that. Or there's like here, I guarantee there's probably like stupid 80 million first appearances in this 50th book of Star Wars. But they're ancillary characters like, Sloth Pirate guy, like is a first appearance. But like we're not supposed to care about him as a character. He's just there as MacGuffin to move the story forward.
You got Porter Engle. I guess you don't like the High Republic or whatever as much. But Porter Engle's a dude.
Yeah, but look what they made him. They made him look at the freaking goddamn from Gargoyles. The freaking goddamn the fat dude with Gargoyles.
That still doesn't mean he's not cool.
He was cool, but now they made him.
Yeah, I like the fat gargoyle. Was cool.
You got plenty. You got plenty, Dom.
Plenty. It just really bugs me that the creativity of imagination Star Wars, that the Star Wars characters are getting lame. There's like a lame character. All right, you have Mando. All right, you have Mando, but I'm talking about comic book wise. Like, I mean, really strong. Yes, Martian Rowe, but I mean, like somebody like now in this time period, not in the past, not in the future. Now
they haven't really created a new dedicated besides Afra. That's about the only dedicated new character they've created. So I don't know. There's only one. Yeah, but he doesn't have there's not a Black K ongoing series.
Yeah.
I'm talking like actual
has
a comic dedicated to them, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Like Dr. Afra. She should be on TV. I don't know what they're waiting for. That it's just it makes no sense.
But that's kind of my point. Like I don't get your genderism of it. If you like Dr. Afra as a cool new character and she thinks she's awesome and should be on TV, what does it matter if she's Dr. Afra or if she's Dr. Afra MD male character? Like I don't know.
I'm just saying that the fact is that you get freaking Tiramisu. Oh, was it Tesla Run? Was it Tiramisu? I forgot his damn name. That dude.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, that's a limited 4-issue series, and probably died.
No,
I think the way they're setting him up, I know I didn't read it. I know I read the issues and you guys didn't, but I think they're actually setting him up to maybe become an Inquisitor at the end because it kind of talks an internal running monologue about how he has thoughts of the dark side kind of thing.
I mean, you got and it's not comics. You got Cal Kestis. You like Cal Kestis? Cal Kestis is in this time period.
Hey, Outlaws should have been a male character.
Why?
Should have been.
We got Cal Kestis on the other end for the other video game.
But Cal Kestis, another one that doesn't. It's only going to be in video games. I mean, I want to see somebody.
We're gonna wait till his story is done. His story's finished in the video game, and then they'll add more. Yeah, let's get through the video game series. Don't worry.
Yeah, again, Dom upset over something he doesn't play.
All right, we got one last segment for you all today.
I watch the movies.
I'm interested in what JJ came up with. I have no idea what JJ came up with for this one.
I came up with absolute garbage, but I think Dom will enjoy it, particularly one of these discussions. I think he might have even forgot about this thing until we bring it up here. So this is, I'm going to try to do 20 of these. I probably won't get to 20 before Marco cancels me. But it's going to be the True Lost 20 in a galaxy so far away that you'll never see these things. But the first one up, first I'll go over the rules I have for inclusion. One, it can be a Star Wars project from any medium, so books, video games, movies, TV shows, comics, novels, whatever. Two, it has to have been in development at some level and have some kind of work done. So a script, a draft, something along those lines, a story treatment even, like for a novel or something like that. And then three, there cannot be any official news of it within the last year, or someone has to have officially declared it basically dead. So whether that be like a director or somebody actually from Disney or whatever, but somebody has to say, it's dead or it's gone or I'm not on it anymore or whatever.
There's thousands of options.
Thousands of options.
This should have happened.
First one though. See, I knew it. I knew Don would like this.
This should have happened.
So there was, upon a time, to recap for fans who may not know, there was a Guillermo del Toro, famous for Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth, things like that. Kind of a famous character forward, Shape of Water director. He at one time pledged to do and signed up to do a Jabba the Hutt film that was kind of supposed to be, in his words, like a mobster movie or The Godfather. So it was going to be kind of about the underworld revolving around Jabba the Hutt's rise and fall. But it was first mentioned in 2015 by Del Toro as something he wanted to work on. It actually started development in 2017 and had a script officially written and completed by David Goyer in 2019. But there was no news for the years between basically 2019 and 2022. And then both Del Toro and David Goyer, the scriptwriter, came out and said that it was basically dead and it was never going forward in any kind of way last year. So, Dom, what do you think? Should this have been a thing?
Yes, it should.
What do you think they would have done with it? What would your story have been?
It would have been like Sopranos, man. I love mob stuff. I love the underworld. I love the stuff that part of Star Wars. I don't know.
You would have got your alien feel with this one.
Oh, I would have got my aliens. I would have got more.
Del Toro would have been all about that. But
I would have watched people getting whacked. Awesome. That's the way. It'd been great. But
you're gonna send a dead fish to somebody.
Exactly. Send the black shoes. Some Sarlacc. Shit like that, man. Kind of stuff.
The head of a tauntaun in somebody's bed.
But I guess what? This wasn't what Disney wanted. So, if Disney didn't own Star Wars, this probably would have been made.
I think this movie sounds horrible. I do not need a Jabba the Hutt movie. Jabba's a great character. Don't get me wrong. Like, not great.
Jabba no Baba.
But like, I don't need Jabba's. Why do I need this story? The Hutts are interesting. I would be more interested in seeing something with like the whole Hutts. Give me like.
Well, I think that's kind of what it was supposed to be. I think it was supposed to be. Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
Like Hutts going after Hutts.
I think that was kind of. It's kind of going to be like. It's going to be like Hutts versus Pikes or something along those lines.
You're going to have
Hutts versus Hutts.
Come on, man. The Black Sun, the Pikes. You're going to have all these organizations. Come on, man.
Need that.
We do need that.
We don't. We don't need it. We don't need. I know that's just not my thing. I don't care about your.
Listen, mob stuff. If that work in Star Wars, that'd be awesome. Listen, let me tell you, Shadows of the Empire could have been this movie. That's what I'm trying to say, man. They don't do shit.
I knew it was going to come back to that. I knew it.
Why?
Come on, man. Come on, Prince Caesar, the ultimate friggin' bad dude that they could have.
So with this thing, it could have been 200 years before, right? It could be old.
It was supposed to be Jabba the Hutt's rise, kind of to power. So it would have been like pre-Clone Wars, kind of, or beginning of Clone Wars, maybe era.
It's a High Republic era type of thing. You could have had that. Freaking goddamn, you have Devil Empop, Durnge, freaking bounty hunters, man. Come on, man.
I agree. Look, give it as a comic. I don't need to see this thing as a movie. Give it as a comic. I'll read it. I'll enjoy it in that form. It'd be a horrible movie.
Yeah.
Horrible.
If Nubs was in it, it wouldn't be horrible. If Nubs was in it, you would like, this is fantastic.
No, I don't need to see Nubs in a Jabba the Hutt movie. That makes no sense. Why? Just because Nubs doesn't need to be in everything.
That would be great. Nubs comes in there like Luke Skywalker and beats up Rancor or something. That's why I had to get the new Rancor.
Exactly. That's how they got the Rancor they had in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, as I said, that's where that Rancor came from.
We got Nubs coming out. I didn't put it in news, but since you brought up Nubs, one of the episodes in Young Jedi Adventures, we're going to learn that there was an old Republic Nubs Jedi, a Pubian Jedi, and he's big and fat. So like Nubs is going to turn into a
Nubs is going to become Jabba the Hutt, but
Nubs is going to find his lightsaber. So I am excited for some Nubs lore that is coming out this week. I didn't put news because I didn't want to be Nubs. You know what? Nubs lore this week.
You know, one thing I think would have been hilarious if they included in this was it Buku the Hutt, but the dude that had like a 12-pack and was like the Hutt Jedi. It was like the opposite of Jabba.
With Zero the Hutt would have been a kid, right? Because he died in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. But you might, I don't know, they're like a larvae or whatever for like a certain amount of time. I don't know how that works. But
and they can reproduce
like stinky and lava form or whatever.
Nah, but come on, this, you know what? It would have been interesting. I know, I understand where Wave Seeker's coming from. I would have enjoyed. A lot of people probably wouldn't have. You know, see, I like this is the stuff I like. You know, and not necessarily everybody else likes because there's certain things, like pirates, like Skeleton Crew is appealing to me because of pirates, man. I like that.
Pirates, you can at least sell toys. Like people, I get that. Pirates, you can sell toys. You can't sell any toys in this thing.
Well, this also came about like. First off, the idea kind of came up at the beginning of Disney taking over. Right? I know Disney bought them in 2012, but it kind of didn't start doing content until 2015. And it also kind of came about when Goyer wrote the script and everything. He even said it kind of came in that era of like the Solo movie and things like that. So basically, it kind of fell apart. One, because I don't know, it probably would have been hard to materialize into a story. But two, from that Star Wars movie exhaustion era, and it didn't necessarily get like, you know, hammered down by Disney, but it was just kind of like one of those things that got forgotten about, and then eventually just nobody cared.
Yeah. This could not be the first movie after Star Wars taking a lull. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
This is not going to bring in the masses. This is not $1 billion movie.
not making $1 billion. Well, neither was Solo's.
No. Solo, no. But this thing ain't making anywhere near $1 billion.
I like Solo.
I like Solo too. I thought it was
just that Solo came out the wrong time because of all the heat with the Last Jedi, and it was 6 months after all the heat and people boycotted it. That's why.
Solo would never be $1 billion movie. Just wouldn't.
It would have been $1 billion movie. paid 700.
This kind of had, I think, a dimension too to kind of set it up in a solo kind of way, like Jabba the Hutt gets a crew together to perform a heist on the pikes or something.
That would have been awesome. That could have been this movie.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Any which way, moving on to our next project. Now, this one, I've decided to include things that aren't actually canceled, but have a seemingly emerging likelihood to be canceled. So we move to Star Wars Eclipse, everybody's super favorite hyped video game of 2021. Yes, that's when this game was announced. Was 2021, December of 2021. It was designed to be set.
The strike going on, so no one's doing anything.
That's not anything to do with it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if anything, that might delay a little bit, but I think it's more dead than it is delayed at this point. But
the delay is only with the voice actors, right? They got so much work behind the scenes they could do on this thing. It's just dead. It's not happening.
Well, yeah. Well, let me go through the background first for the folks, and then we'll talk it over. Okay, so we had an announcement and a cinematic trailer in December 2021. And the trailer looked cool. Everybody's like, this is amazing. And now when you have a cinematic trailer in games, it's basically like a very short movie made with CGI. It's not actually gameplay footage. So we had about, I think they said it would take 3 to 4 years when they first announced it, probably before they were going to get to like close to a launch period. Quantic Dream, who's the developer, kind of ran into some legal issues surrounding lawsuits and stuff like that in like 2021, 2022. There's basically been no news or official statements or anything from Quantic Dream since late 2022, and that was basically them saying that they didn't think the game would be delayed. So we've heard basically nothing for almost a full year and a half now, and it's seemingly like it may be dead, because in the course of video game development, it's not necessarily true that no news is good news. But
well, let me ask you a question now. Of all those problems that happen now, and now also the way the Acolyte performed, Disney itself might be pressing the brakes on some things.
No.
In this case, I think the fate of it is tied more to the developer.
Yeah.
Now, this is something that could still happen, and this could be one of those emerging, what I call like resurrected type works, where you see it come and it's Star Wars Eclipse, and then Quantic Dreams fumbled it so bad that Lucasfilm takes it away, and then they basically say, well, we still want a High Republic game, so we're going to give it to studio whatever, and then that studio develops one, but it probably doesn't come out till 2027, 2028 at the earliest. That could happen still, so you could see it in that light. The problem might be the fact that that's releasing so late. Tying it to the High Republic might be too far gone. Yeah. That's kind of also why I think this project right here might not happen. If it has been delayed, which it seems like it has, or at least there's been no news of it, I think you're lapsing into that point of like, if you try to release this thing in 2027, you may be so far past the peak of height popularity for High Republic that.
See, it all depends on too if they have something else that comes on television of High Republic, you can tie it in like a cartoon or something. I'm telling you, look.
Now, I don't think this project was ever alive. That's a reality. I don't think it was ever in development in the first place. I don't think Quantum Dream had any desire to ever build this game. They made this trailer for one reason and one reason alone. They were trying to sell their business. They wanted someone to say, I want to make this game. So you put out the cinematic trailer. So they put out the cinematic trailer so that some other company would come out here and buy the studio and develop it for them, because they were in so much legal trouble that they played Marvel. Played Star Wars. The only thing that they ever wanted to do with this was to sell their company. And they hoped, because it was Star Wars IP and it looked awesome, that someone was going to come in and purchase their whole studio, because they had too much going on. And when that didn't happen, this game never even entered into development. That's what I believe.
Could be the case, because, like I said, there's been no news for so long that it seems like it's been forgotten about, to the point where it's maybe intentionally been forgotten about.
Yeah. But companies do that. They make these cinematic trailers just to raise interest in it so that somebody will buy their company. And that's the gaming world. there was no gameplay footage. We've never seen gameplay footage.
Yeah, never seen announced the gameplay footage. Actually, you haven't seen any footage since that trailer in 2020.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think it was ever in development. Let's put it that way.
I think JJ's right too. I think that if it does come out, it missed the mark. It might not never come out now. This might.
I think it might be too far gone.
Yeah.
You know, Wayseeker may be right, and then we've never been that serious of a thing. I think if they try to make it a serious thing now, by the time they get it out, I think it's too far down the road.
This developer is horrible, and I'm glad it's not coming out.
They have issues. Actually, they make some pretty good games, but they have issues.
They do have
Heavy Rain was a very good game, but they have issues internally. Issues like lawsuits.
It is not a healthy work environment. And so anybody that works there, I feel bad for you, especially if you're a woman. It's not good company. So I am happy to see this game dead for that reason. But it did look awesome. I want a High Republic game. I want some good Star Wars games. Like, I want there to be, you know, I really hope Outlaws is great. Gameplay footage is underwhelming so far. I'm gonna play it because I like it.
This is the other thing about that. Like, kind of like you saw how relatively for a video game, Outlaws moved pretty quickly from announcement trailer or like announcement cinematic trailer gameplay footage. I mean, Ubisoft, to their credit, was pow 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 down the line. Something like this, where you've had, like I said, in the world of video game development, the phrase "no news, good news" is not true. You want to build hype as your development cycle goes. You don't want that game to get forgotten about. And this case, I think, has been forgotten about. And you know, like the only thing you see now in this is like, you know, what's up with Star Wars Eclipse? How's Star Wars Eclipse going? Like you don't see an actual news article about it, anything, because there's nothing out there.
So I'm bummed.
You know what?
Yeah,
I wanted this
maybe
game.
you get some in Star Wars Celebration. They'll talk about something, but not it.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to see. I mean, they do like a Lucasfilm games segment of that, but I think they'll probably focus on other stuff. They do have several other games in development that I think they'll.
The only place we're going to see something. I mean, this was released at the December game show, or Game Awards.
Yep.
In
2021.
It hasn't been at a Game Awards in 2 years. If there is any hope of this project coming down, it's got to be at the Game Awards in 2024. Any hope? It ain't, and I have zero hope. But if you wait, you can't wait till 2025 spring.
Actually, it's funny that Styx brings this up. I know he brings it up comically, but this also reminded me of like the Ascension thing from Acolyte. And I actually remember when this trailer first dropped, when we were talking about this trailer, like we said, because Acolyte was also a thing that was kind of in development at that time. Was that, you know, this will probably release like somewhere like after Acolyte or something like that to kind of like, you know, spike off of that idea of High Republic or something like that. Nope.
You know what?
With what was going on with the sky, yep.
Look,
kind of coincidence. It was announced in December of 2021. It's also the last time we saw Boba Fett, 2021. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Like a book of Boba Fett. That was it.
No, we don't need to see him anytime soon.
Yes, we do.
We don't.
Grave Seeker, take that back, because I will have to punch down nubs and freaking take nubs out.
We're gonna get so much nubs and so little Boba Fett, and I am so happy for that.
I don't want either one.
I don't think we're gonna get Boba Fett in the Lego thing, but we're gonna get nubs in there.
Yeah, well, we probably won't.
Anyways, I decided I'd figure out, after all this being bummed out over these canceled projects, I figured at the end of a couple of them, I might show you a nice little thing here of how these things can sometimes turn the tide. Did you know that there was originally an idea to create a story? First, it was supposed to be a story arc, then they kind of maybe thought it might be a one-shot. But anyways, there was supposed to be a story about Palpatine's Royal Guard in the original 1970s, 80s Marvel comic run. That actual same idea and story treatment was actually later used and adapted into Crimson Empire, which went much further than anybody thought. It actually had 3 different parts to it. So, and ran a total of 18 issues.
I like the third part. I don't really like the first 2 parts.
Crimson Empire 3 is hard to find. I've been trying to find those comics.
They're not that hard to find. they're not that hard to find anymore. You can find them now.
Yeah.
They used to be hard to find, but now everything's easy because nothing's selling. You can find them.
Yeah.
The trade is hard to find, but
Yeah.
you can buy the regular floppy.
And the reason why I say that because on the cover of issue 1, it's Boba Fett fighting the Quinton. That's why I can't find that cover. I want to find that book.
To tune into our variants segment that we're doing, we didn't do one this week, but we'll probably bring it back next week.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite variant covers is a Paul, I think is Gilsey, is that how you say his last name? Cover from Crimson Empire 3.
Yep, Stick says he has that one too. So
yeah.
I have. Oh, maybe I sold it. I had one of those. Not sure if I still do. So, yeah, next week we will be bringing back the incentives. I was a little sick this week, and we didn't have Marco here. Want to do a little bit quicker show. We will be looking at the Dark Horse, the RI, the different RI incentives, and so there's a lot. We couldn't cover them all. I know at some point JJ might cover some of them.
Choose, but yeah.
Some of them that aren't that we don't cover, but there are a lot of RIs, a lot of 1 in 5s that are really hard to find that you wouldn't even know they are 1 in 10s. But
we're gonna be doing this segment for a while, right? The cancel project stuff like that.
As long as
we can, as long as Marco doesn't cancel us. Oh, by the way, chat, I will need help.
Yes.
Picking one. So if you have any suggestions, put them in the comments. Let me know of a canceled project you kind of want to be brought up and discussed. And
I like the format. You should do one movie like a cartoon or live action project and one game. You should do that.
Or some books. There's some
Remember though, it cannot be just a rumor. It has to have actually some work done or something at some point. It can't be like an example might be like the Kevin Feige Star Wars project, which never really had any kind of thing done to it.
I know, Wookie. I bid 80. It went above what I bid. I was trying to buy that Tate's Celebration.
Which the new one that came out today?
One of the older Dark Horse ones.
Yeah, I bid 80. It went above that. There was some crazy. I don't go on Heritage because I don't follow Heritage. I can only follow eBay.
I didn't know this was a thing. Maybe we'll have to do this one. Fortnite Star Wars movie.
Yeah. But this week I'll have to look up the price. But Aventress 9.8 newsstand on Heritage sold for like 150. 9.8. Yeah. There was the Heritage auctions. Everything went so cheap, and I'm like, I don't follow Heritage auctions for Star Wars, but it was crazy how little things were going.
But you still pay 18%.
I get that, but that's a newsie. A non-newsie usually sells for 200 to 250, and that was under that.
It'll be about 200 and change with the.
I know, but it's a newsstand. Is all I'm saying. That was crazy sale on Heritage. I'm like, man, I need to follow Heritage, but I don't have time for that. So don't have time.
But high roller for me.
Yeah.
Sticking to the slums of eBay.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I love that.
I just want a card. Just got $20.
Hey, I don't think I bought much today, but that's okay. Tomorrow. All right. Well, on that note, Dom, you're not getting Boba Fett anytime soon. Sorry.
Boba Fett is going to be in the damn freaking Mandalorian Grogu movie. If they don't put him in that,
he's going to be in Skeleton Crew. He's going to be one of the bounty hunters that shows up.
Nah, we're going to end this show this week a little early, but I want to tease something for next week. Dom, what did you do this week that we're going to talk about next week?
Oh, I actually made a good story. A nice story that can bring in all the characters I love and the characters that people think cannot be in the story.
So Dom did what Marco asked him to do last week and wrote a Luke and Mara Jade story this week. And so I said, Dom, you have to wait till
next week
for the story. So we will hear next week Dom's Mara Jade Luke story that he swears is better than anything that Disney has done since Disney's taken over Star Wars. So you don't want to miss Dom's craziness and his Mara.
Also, if anybody's in the Chicago area for a Chicago Fan Expo, I will be there in Chicago this weekend coming up. So
yeah,
hopefully
So Dom's trying to make it back from Fan Expo. If there's a chance we might have to push it another week because Dom might get stuck in traffic or whatever.
We'll see what happens. Coming back, but
Dom's going to try to make it back from Fan Expo next week to share his Luke and Mara Jade
to
story.
Chicago.
Yeah. And on that note, thanks everybody for following in. Mara will definitely be in a slave outfit. There will be some characters that
borrowing Dark Talons
in this story.
We're gonna have dual figure slave outfits. Darth Talon and Mara Jade. Don't worry about it. You won't want to miss it.
And on that note, I can't wait. Actually, I definitely can. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week.